we are live. Okay. So, I've decided to make this sort of a series. We are sort of going to go down the list of killers and do sort of an analysis of each killer because I am a massive lore nerd and this game has lore of fucking plenty. I am so interested in a lot of this stuff, and I have my own interpretations for a lot of the way these killers are, because a lot of these killers are really vague, and you can kind of discern what you think of them and what you think they're thinking. And it's not always the same description. And honestly, I've said this in the past, their base perks don't always really fully align with what I think the character should be depicted as. So, this is going to be, as the title suggests, my personal lore-accurate depiction of the Trapper. This is going to be an analysis of the Trapper as a character. I'm going to include some headcanons, and then we are going to play with the perk spread that my headcanon fits best with. That I think the analysis lines up with the most. First, we're going to start with his bio. Evan McMillan idolized his father. It wasn't just that he was the heir to a great fortune. It was the way he ran the estate. Raised under his firm hand, Evan had taken to running the workforce with an iron fist. Production was always high, and the McMillan estate prospered under father and son. As Archie McMillan's mental health slowly degenerated, Evan protected him from the herd who wanted a piece of the fortune. No matter what his father asked of him, Evan would do. When Archie McMillan finally snapped, Evan became his enforcer, in what would become known as the worst mass murder in modern history. They never proved that Evan led over the 100 men into those dark tunnels before detonating the explosives and sealing them to their fate. The tale of the McMillan estate is a tale of wealth and power gone very wrong. How many victims fell to the hands of father and son is unknown. No record was ever made of what became of Evan McMillan. His father is another unsolved puzzle found in the basement of his own warehouse, dead and abandoned. So, right off rip, to me, I already kind of interpret the Trapper as somebody who didn't necessarily want to go down the path of a killer, but once he got to that point, he couldn't stop. He kind of let his father's ideals engulf him a little bit too much. And I feel like he has a certain resentment towards his father, but yet at the same time, he yearns for this kind of attention from him. He wants love and he wants care. But the only type of love and care Archie would give him is sort of an ironic kind. Because he seemed to only respect him when he was hurting others. There's a bunch of lore information outside of just this bio that does suggest that they weren't on the best of terms by any means. Archie was not just abusive to his workers, but to Evan McMillan as well, the Trapper here. Personally, my interpretation of the Trapper is somebody who kind of fell from grace, kind of started to realize, it started to kind of become a slow burn of him realizing he's becoming his father. And in that, he ended up becoming sort of a monster. I say sort of very loosely. He wields a bear trap, for God's sake. His whole thing is kind of torturous. I feel like if he had a part of him that was still like good at this point in time, because I feel like somewhere in him he doesn't want to do what he's doing, but another part of him is like obsessed with killing and hurting and all of this stuff. But nonetheless, he's grown accustomed to the cruelty. He started to enjoy it after a certain amount of time. Bear traps famously are pretty damn painful. I'd imagine at this point in time, he does see the trials in a similar way to the entity, viewing it as somewhat of a game. And I imagine the entity is sort of a disturbing depiction of his father figure. It's kind of like the loop is just starting back all over again. He was an enforcer for his father, doing cruel acts on his whim, and now he's an enforcer for the entity, doing the same again. His perks: agitation, brutal strength, unnerving presence. Now, all of these are very fitting for his lore, but let's see if we can't make him a little more fitting per the perks that exist in the game currently. First of all, let's like read into the perks that are here. Agitation. While transporting a body, your terror radius is increased by 12 meters, and you have 18% haste. This does read as somebody who has grown to enjoy one of two things. You could view this as he's grown to enjoy it so much that he gets the excitement from hooking hooking a survivor. He starts to get excited from it. That is a type of agitation in a sense, but also agitation is usually used in a negative context. It could be potentially that he just wants to get over with it. I don't believe that's the case for two reasons. As before mentioned, he wields a bear trap. Need I say more? Second reason, look at the image on the perk. That is a smile if I ever saw one. I get it that it's an image of his mask, but that's another thing to know. His mask is smiling. You could use some like depiction of saying, well that just means he's hiding his true emotions or something. I don't think that's the case. If you notice, his body is pretty scarred up. I'd like to think that the muscles that allow him to actually smile just aren't really functional anymore. So at this point, he uses the mask to express his own feelings. He's excited when he plays this game. His excitement is also kind of contradictory at the same time, though. He's a weird character in the fact that the way I interpret him is he loves the game but hates it. He hates the fact that he loves it so much, if that makes any sense. So, agitation does make a lot of sense as a perk. Brutal strength. Also, just look at this dude. He is a beefy dude. Brutal strength makes sense just by virtue of him looking like this. Unnerving presence. I'm gonna be completely real, this is a cool perk, and it is fitting for the Trapper. However, unnerving presence describes literally every single killer in this game. This could work for anyone. It's not exactly one for one with the Trapper. Currently, that is one of the ones I have equipped. In fact, I think I have all of his main perks equipped. Because honestly, the Trapper is one of the rare cases in this game where I think you could really run all of his perks, and it would work perfectly thematically for the character still. And honestly, I've played the Trapper quite a bit at this point. I'd say the perks that he has now are good. I did include Deerstalker as his fourth and final perk for the time being, which I don't know if that's actually that fitting. It does allow him an opportunity to see a dying survivor. It's very useful, very befitting, I suppose. And very helpful with the honing stone, which will knock a survivor that escapes the bear trap. But I think I've established this guy kind of has started to enjoy the torment of the game. So I'm not sure he'd be that into the idea of going out of his way to search for a knocked person and like immediately finding them. I think he wouldn't mind the idea of spending his time on it. Problem is, strategically, that's not a smart idea. Which is sort of why I have the Deerstalker perk here in the first place. But you don't really need it. I don't think... I rarely see anyone even actually use this perk. Maybe I'm just wrong. I think instead, I'm going to use Enduring, which is the Hillbillies perk. It reduces the duration of a pallet stun by 50%. And I feel like it ensures more of an opportunity for him to get right back up and just start slashing again with his weapon. Start inflicting more pain. And in all honesty, I feel like Enduring works more thematically as a perk for the Trapper than it does the Hillbilly. So I think I'm going to replace Deerstalker with Enduring. Unnerving Presence, I did say, like I said, this one's kind of a strange one because I feel like it's weird to have this as a Trapper-specific perk, considering Unnerving Presence is a description that you can give every killer in this game. However, I think the phrasing of Unnerving Presence works best for, like, in best case scenarios, I think it would work for more supernatural-oriented killers. This dude, at the end of the day, is just a name. He's not a presence. He's just a name. Sorry, wrong wording. He's just a guy at the end of the day. A big dude, a really strong dude, but he's a dude. He's not real. I wouldn't describe him per se as a presence, but a violent human being of mass destruction. Unnerving Presence, I think, would fit for the nurse. I feel like, I know the Wraith is technically just a guy. I don't think he's like dead by any means, but he functions sort of fundamentally like a supernatural presence. So I think it would fit for him as well. I think with the witchy aesthetic of the hag, it would fit for her. But this stream is not about her. It's not about the spirit or any of the characters that I think would fit. It's about the Trapper. I think I'm going to change out Unnerving Presence for something a bit more fitting. Honestly, maybe Strider. Acutely sensitive to the breathing of your prey. Breathing of survivors in pain, 50% louder, and regular breathing is 25% louder. I think this fits more. I think this fits more because the Trapper, like I said, he is divulged into somebody who started to enjoy the torment. He started to enjoy inflicting it. So I feel like hearing the pain in someone else's voice is just another addition to the fun for him. It's also kind of, as before mentioned, an ironic fun. He kind of doesn't want to like it. I feel like in the moment he enjoys it. Usually after the fact or before that is when he starts to realize what had happened and it starts to weigh on him. I don't really think he's like 100% villain. He's absolutely a villain. But I feel like there is a certain humanity that's trapped inside. It's just not getting out anytime soon. But the Strider fits perfectly to me. It feels like in the moment he would enjoy hearing that. Hearing like the painful breaths of his prey trying their hardest to hide from him. And I think right here, and usually I would get Lightborn for a lot of my characters. In this situation, I'm not going to. This is just a man. He doesn't appear to have any specific things that I think would make him resistant to a flashlight or anything like that. I mean, you could say his mask would do that, but his mask doesn't really cover his eyes. You see the eye holes. So, then let's look at the add-ons. Busted Jaw. Bear traps inflict mangled on trapped survivors for 70 seconds. As before mentioned, he enjoys the torment. He enjoys inflicting the pain. His father instilled that into him. It speaks for itself. Honing Stone. The trapped victim is left dying instead of injured if they free themselves. Here's the thing. I did make up the point that he wouldn't want to end the game so unbelievably fast or anything like that. And the Honing Stone would kind of contradict that point. But at the end of the day, the Honing Stone serves as a last-ditch effort. The Trapper would usually come, without the Honing Stone, the Trapper would usually come right to you. And within that time, you have an opportunity to escape. And you have an opportunity to heal. Trapper wouldn't like that very much, if you could imagine. So, now that we have the entire loadout of the Trapper, we have an idea of this character's mental state, how he functions and everything. I've read the bio. If you join the stream or watch this later in the video or whatever, and you didn't see that, you can always look back at earlier in the video. I did kind of read his bio and give my opinions on it and how I feel I'd represent the character. The offering, I maintain this with like every killer. Offering doesn't matter. You should pick an offering, but pick whatever one you want. I'd probably recommend Coconut Scream Pie because of the current event that's been going on. But like, to be honest, just pick whatever floats your damn boat. Now, I could lose this match horribly. This build from a strategic view might be horrible. I don't know. We're about to test it out. This is my lore accurate Trapper. I'm going to play to the best of my ability how I feel Trapper should play. Now I'm kind of hoping I don't get people who are just like chilling in the game, because I don't want to have a moment where I'm like, I don't want to hate you now. It's just not gonna be fun. The rest of this video, the rest of the stream might just be me playing the Trapper on repeat. Like, this format is kind of a new idea for me. I see a lot of lore videos talking about the different killers in Dead by Daylight. So I figured I'd do it, and I'd put my own spin on it. Because so much about these killers and the way they're represented, a lot of the times is pretty vague. I mean, the only ones that aren't vague are the ones directly from other IPs. Even then, sometimes you have the Ghostface here. He's a whole different killer than the movies. Like, in canon, he's not the same person. And if whoever sees this, if you're able to, just tell me how I did with this formatting. Tell me if this is like a fun idea, doing a little analyses of the killers. Because honestly, I like this idea, but I just kind of want to know other people's opinions on this idea. I've always been a nerd about psychology, and I guess looking into the psychology of fictional characters is always fun to me. Like if you heard the things I talked about when it came to Dutch Vanderlyn from Red Dead 2, I went on for like what felt like a million years talking about that character. Here we go. Oh, crap. Yeah, right off rip, I'm breaking my fucking rule. I'm not going against an entire... I gotta remember that I had enduring there. I am not going against an entire flashlight team without Lightborn. We're not doing this. No, 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 no. No. One or two flashlights, fine. This is an entire team of flashlight users. I'm not... like, nuh-uh. We're still going to try and play fundamentally how I feel Trapper would play. In this scenario. In this given scenario. But the reason I had to switch to Lightborn is I refuse to go against people who pull this. I refuse to go against people without Lightborn who pull this. please do not be one of those people who just all uses flashlights. Flashlight's a cool mechanic and everything. I have personal beef with it because it gives me nausea a lot of the times. From the fucking disorientation I get after being flashed. But, and I can respect the use of it. I have no respect for people who fucking go in full teams, because I know why they do it. They're trying to spam the shit, and they're trying to fucking make shit not fun for the killer. That just bugs me. You know what? I'm gonna set this real quick. It's also been a minute since I played the Trapper. I feel like the Trapper would make use of hiding places for his traps. Oh shit. Why did I swing that there? That was a dumb decision. I feel like I know what's gonna happen here. Okay. I thought he'd have that perk that like knocks the Okay, I thought he was. I thought he had that perk that knocks the pallet over. Oh, this dude's not leaving scratch marks either. Wow. God damn it. Okay. First game of the stream, and we're dealing with these types of players. I just wanted to make a cool little analysis video. Yep. That's why I had to get Lightborn. I'm not about to be trolled. just like this innate rule. The moment you see that many people with flashlights, you know immediately how they're gonna play. Oh yeah, go ahead and escape from that. You should totally try that. By yourself. Thank you. I appreciate that really stupid decision you made. I have no respect for you. I am so glad that they let me see the builds of the players I'm going up against. Or not the builds, but that they let me see the items that they equip. I'm gonna try and re-equip Enduring. Damn it. Yeah, that didn't do a lot for you, did it? Be so abundantly clear. If you play like these people, this is the treatment you get. I'm being exponentially mean right now because they fucking deserve it. I do not respect them. How poetic that the one with the name "Don't Kill Me" died first. That up been set off enough, I think. I heard him. Not over there. Got a message from that "Don't Kill Me" player. Oh, now I know what that endure any stun button does. It literally briefly gives you the enduring perk, technically, like, or the effect of the enduring perk. Okay, that makes sense. All right, I can't pick that up. For a brief second, I completely forgot that I had a max thing of them already. I wonder what toxic shit that player sent me. Oh, I still don't have that. Okay. Yes. Treatment you deserve for playing like a bitch. Alright. PFP makes sense for the Lightborn, not gonna lie. That's the message they sent. Which I literally wasn't even going to use Lightborn that time. Yeah, no. Just quick note to anyone who fucking plays against me. You go with an entire team of flashlight users, I'm using Lightborn. I'm just blocking you, asshole. Hold on. I can't find the fucking block button. Hold on. Like, if you play back this stream, you could see what the fuck they were trying to do. Anyway. All is well now. Ah, enduring. Oh, wait a minute. He was talking... I just realized he wasn't even talking about my in-game profile. He was talking about my Xbox profile, which is literally the pride flag. Oh, he was being homophobic. Like, you cannot at all get mad at me for using Lightborn if you're going to play like that. this right here. One flashlight. There's a fourth person that's not there yet. If they have a flashlight, that's fair. I will not be equipping Lightborn for this. Because I don't need Lightborn for this. They get a flashlight save, I respect it. Because you actually have to earn that shit when it's just you. Another flashlight user, I'm fine with that. Full team of 4 flashlight users? Yeah, that's not happening. Alright, hopefully this time I can show off how I prefer to play the Trapper against an actual competent team that knows how to play, like actually play the game and not just spam the fucking flashlight and try and infinite loop me with a flashlight. Okay, so right off rip I will state, I'm gonna just set this since I already have, my thing's already full. I will state, this map isn't the best for the Trapper. The Trapper is at his best when he's able to, when he's actually able to, hide his traps a little better. Be a lot more strategic with it. Here, you kind of have to just hope that they pallet and miss it. Alright. And don't miss it, sorry. Oh, hello. Nope. Shit. Where did she go? She's probably in one of the lockers. I don't feel like checking it. Is that the one I just looked already? I don't know if it was. Or maybe it was the one that was trying to get the flashlight saved. I do see a flashlight on her. Yep, that was her first hook. And I might as well set this. It's hard to find proper places to set your traps in this game. Oh. You running right for the hook? Oh. That's real unfortunate. Oh, damn. That's another thing you really gotta look out for, is you can easily forget where you placed your trap and then hit yourself with it. Did you actually try going right back to it? Okay, okay. Place that there. Okay, I hope everyone saw the fact that I was not even on that. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, that was a perfect flashlight stun moment. That was missed. Yeah. Oh my god. Doing a mean job at distracting me. How the hell? Doing a mean job at avoiding my traps too. Oh boy. I have not even gotten the opportunity to leave yet. Nope. Damn. I wonder if they have that perk that makes me hear the locker open when it's not actually opening. There were scratch marks here a second ago. Now these people I can give credit to. They're just playing well. They're managing to avoid my traps, albeit it is a little annoying for me because the whole reason why it's so easy to avoid my traps is because there's literally nowhere to hide them. I'm a little salty about that stun that literally, if you look on stream, it did not hit me. Yes! Mind game! You're the resident distraction, I see. Okay, yeah. I'm a little irritated with this area, but it's like a fair irritation. I feel like if they had a bunch of people ganging up on me, that's one thing. This is just one person. Yes! That being said, I do kind of want to get my get back. If I can. If I get the opportunity. How is it though, like, undoing my traps? I just gotta kind of take my opportunity now. Yeah, I kind of just hate this map for Trapper. That's another thing that really irritates me. You actually can just leave. Maybe it was because there was somebody on hook still and they wanted to help. No, but you were on death hook. You really should have just left. Whoa. I almost pulled her stupid. I think she was trying to fucking troll me or something. I don't know. This game has too toxic of a player base. Like, I deal with it because I love the game. I just try and ignore the irritating aspect of it. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Yeah, they got away. Hold on, what was that? What were their perks? Oh my god. Prestige 100, Jill Valentine. Yeah, no shit, she escaped. She put more time into that character than I put into my life. While walking 20% haste. Performing a rush bolt, you gain 50% haste for 3 seconds. So, haste on top of haste? Really? Self-care, medkit at 25% normal healing speed. 3 extra escape attempts on the hook. What about this? Hold on. What about the other flashlight user? Yup, I knew she had that. Yeah, these people won, though, like, even despite this build is a little bit toxic, but I can only really deem it toxic, like, actually toxic, when it's the entire team using it, or even just 2 people on the team, like, using this exact build, admittedly, because here I can say it was primarily just skill. I lost. But, I don't know, it bugs me seeing entire teams like this, because it eventually culminates in me just not being able to win the game, even if I'm like a fucking literal pro at it. Because this build, for every character, flat out just not fair. I'm not an idiot either. I know there's builds for killers that are also just not fair. But I don't like to say this game is survivor or killer sided because people who say that shit irritate me. If you play toxic, if you play toxic on purpose, you're a toxic person. That's end of story. There, they were just utilizing perks to the best of their ability. They weren't really abusing anything, I don't think. They just played well. Last team I dealt with played terribly, but they had scummy-ass tactics to win. I bet they won a crap ton of games prior to this using that shit. And the moment they realized, oh shit, I have to actually play the game, they got upset. They got a little mad. A little upsetty. I got to kind of show how I'd like to depict Trapper. But I don't really feel like I'm playing this build to the best of its ability. I do think these perks can work really well together. I'm just not... just haven't been able to show that off. Also, I genuinely never use Lightborn for the Trapper in any normal circumstances. If I have to use if I feel like I have to use Lightborn as Trapper, you're toxic. You cannot call me toxic for finding a defense against your bullshit. I honestly do genuinely believe none of these perks by themselves are really overpowered. There are ways to combat any one of these perks. These perks in conjunction with other perks, that can get unfair. Like, if you have a shit ton of gen regression in, like, 3 of your perks, and then your last perk is like, what was that one perk? Blood Warden. And your last perk is, like, Blood Warden. So, after all of that hellish gen regression, you decide you're just going to block off the exit, like, on the last moment when they get one final opportunity to win. That's scummy. That's an example of a scummy killer. I am a killer main. I can admit when other killer players are being scummy. Why is it I cannot seem to find survivors who do that? The only one I know who does that are my friends. And we talk about this shit pretty consistently. Because Dead by Daylight really needs to, like, get their damn... They need to get in check. They need to learn etiquette. The etiquette of this game, I think. Because in any game like this, there's just some things that you don't do out of respect for other fucking people. I don't honestly think me using Lightborn is that disrespectful to other people. Especially since some of my biggest L's were with Lightborn. And all of those people who beat me with that, funnily enough, were not abusing the goddamn flashlight mechanic. Oh, you're right there. Damn, game just started. You're already this far on a gen? That. Oh, one of them has that fake out thing, I think. Because I didn't hear a snap of a trap yet. And they're on the ground. Unless it... I'm just stupid. Wow, y'all are on the gens. Oh, wow. That's another thing that kind of bugs me. People who gen rush in this game. And it doesn't bug me because I perceive it as toxic or anything. It bugs me because it's just weird. Why do you desperately want the game to be over as soon as it started? Because if you go out of your way to like make the game end so much faster, I do genuinely feel like you just don't want to play the game. Anyway, this is enough of my long-ass TED talk. I've made my point. Funny seeing you here. Damn, she's crawling fast. Wow. Yes. Damn it, one of them got her off the hook. I was trying to... What are you doing? Oh my god. Also, I just generally don't like metas in games ever. Why do you have to spend so much of your fucking life playing like that? When I play games like this, I like never usually look up builds. I usually just figure out what I like on my own time. I used to play Smite, another admittedly really toxic player base. And that game was like full of people who just meta builded the crap out of their character, out of the gods in that game. They wanted the game to. It genuinely felt like they didn't want to play the game. They just wanted to make it miserable for other people, and I don't understand that mentality. I just left that area. Yep. Also, I'm not a fan of like, all of these gens are so almost complete to a degree that should not be possible this early in the game. Well, it's not that early in the game now. We've played a decent amount through, but they've been like this for a while. The only reason they're not all done right now is because I've been doing, I think, decent at mat pressuring. Yes, jump right there. Yes. All my luck is in. At least for the time being. Walk right by her. And that kind of goes hand in hand when I was with the whole analysis of this character. I feel like he would do that. He'd see you trapped and be like, I'm gonna leave you there for a minute. Alright. I'm not fighting anyone else. Set this. I think that's 3rd gen? I don't know. Oh, she's really putting emphasis on that pallet. These scratch marks are moving away fast. Damn it. I am so dumb. I should have just stayed on the original trajectory. Oh, I see what you were trying to do. Thank you for this momentous moment. You have been hooked. Okay. She's right there. I like actually being able to see the more animation before I do it. So I'm gonna move it out of the way. There we go. That's a more proper interpretation of how I feel like Trapper would act. I do feel like it's not as accurate because realistically you'd find him in more grassy areas where he's capable of hiding his traps. Because a trap isn't supposed to be in broad daylight. Like in one of the prior games, you could see how often they'd just like disarm my trap. It would give away their general area, but it would mean nothing because they'd be gone the moment I got there. Um, in the future, see, right now we have to go through the Wraith, we have to go through the Hillbilly, kind of the Nurse. I've went into why I don't really play the Nurse. Her ability gives me nausea. I don't like it. But yeah, all these ones that are already Prestige 3, their streams are going to be a lot shorter. Because these ones that aren't Prestige yet, I want to spend the time to Prestige them still. The Hag is going to be delayed by a lot because there's abilities I want to give the Hag that aren't available right now. To me at the moment. And I might even do streams in the future or videos or something that re-perks them. That like upgrades the... It still fits within the theming, but upgrades the perks and makes them a bit better. But for now, this has been my personal lore accurate depiction of the poster boy of Dead by Daylight. Next stream I do is going to be on the Wraith. And he is a little bit of a funny one for a reason I'm going to get into when I actually get that. It has a lot to do with one of his add-ons. But I'm not going to talk about that right now because I have to save that for his video. And without any more delay, that's the end of the stream.